Welcome to Lord Fussington's walkthrough of the critically acclaimed game Demon's Souls. I'm your walkthrough master, Lord Fussington, and this is part 1 of Tower of Latria 3-1. Now the Tower of Latria is basically a prison, with several floors, it being a tower and all, and there are a lot of prisoners inside, which isn't that strange. After all, it is a prison. Anyway, head over to the Tower of Latria 3-1. That's old King Doran, who is not in the Tower of Latria 3-1. He's actually in Bolitarian Palace 1-1. You'll need the mausoleum key to get to. Anyway, he's not important either at this point because we're doing Tower of Latria. So Tower of Latria 3-1. Who do we have to worry about? Mindflayers. They are mages. They sort of lurk in the corridors of the prison of the tower, and their attacks are quite strong, so be wary of them. There are prisoners, two types of prisoners. They look the same, but one type of prisoner just sort of runs at you or whatever, doesn't attack. The other one has a dagger, and he will stab you in the face or in the shoulders. It depends on his aim. Who else is there? There's like a sphere made entirely of prisoners, right? Anyway, we'll get to that in part 2. And anything else? Can't think of anything else. Well, there is the boss, of course, who is Fool's Idol, and we'll also meet the Fool actually. Fool's Idol is a simple boss, nothing to worry about really. If you are concerned, just equip some magic resistance, and that's really all you need. There's a mind flayer over there. Okay, so the way this place works: some cells open without a key, some cells don't. Some areas you cannot access unless you have pure white world tendency. Well, really, it's one area that you can't access without pure white world tendency, and to get the key, and you need to get a key for that area, also acquired through pure white world tendency. It's not something to worry about. This walkthrough kind of goes in the right direction. I've got a separate video for white world tendency. So in each area you're gonna have to find keys for that floor, right? So we're on the 3rd floor right now. There's a west side and an east side, and yeah, just find the keys and then open the cells and get the items within the cells. And sometimes they're not even in the cells, in which you don't actually need the key because the keys open the cells. So if they're outside of it, you don't. Anyway, it's not really important. What is important is there are some good items here, much better than Stonefang Tunnel. Not the greatest of items, obviously, but Actually, I like the set that's acquired here. I think I put it on after. It's the black armor set, or whatever it's called there, with the assassin's mask. Has really good poison resist. I highly recommend it. Well, obviously if you're worried about poison. Also, the prisoners with blades do or can poison you, so keep that in mind. So have some Royal Lotus, because Royal Lotus will remove the poison. Okay, so I think that's all explained. Not really complicated at all, and unnecessary explanation, because the video itself will sort of show where to go and what to do. Obviously, I get confused a couple of times because I've got no idea what I'm doing. And so here are 2 guys with blades. We've already seen one with a blade, so it's not the way to deal with them. Really, is to not get hit by the blades. Unless you're blocking, then that's fine. But you don't want them to actually hit you in the face or in the shoulder, because that will do damage. And a great thing about this game, or an important aspect of the game, is not to lose health. Because if you lose health, eventually you'll die. Assuming you don't consume some grass. So mind flayers. They have one of their attacks fires this green electric attack, which paralyzes. That one was not the green electric attack, that was just Soul Ray. So they've got the green electric attack, which paralyzes, and Soul Ray. Now, when they paralyze you, or just when they actually shoot that green electric attack, whether it hits you or not, they'll run in that direction that they shot it. Okay, and if you are paralyzed, they'll actually use their tentacles. Their tentacles will sort of like impale you, and do a lot of damage. So you want to be careful with that. And the Soul Ray is, standard, but it does quite a bit. Not as, obviously the Red Phantom. The Red Phantoms, which are really common in this game, the Red Phantoms. The Black Phantoms, or Black Phantom version of them. The Black Phantom mindflayers are much more problematic, I would say. And be careful, because even when you hit them, they don't really get stunned. They don't like recoil very much, so keep that in mind. It's best to just backstab them, I find, or use arrows or spells. Just don't get near them, and be ready to dodge. Yep, that was amazing. Really good gameplay there. So right now we're on the 3rd floor. Which is basically what we're looking for right now. Is there was a gate near the Excalibur, right, which was, the sword that's in the ground there, which that we travel through to get to the Nexus or in other worlds. So near there's a gate that we want to open. So we're looking for the key for that, and that's in this section. And this side we actually never have to come here again in this area after acquiring that key, which is right here. There you go, 3rd floor key. So now I think I'm checking the keys, even though I've only acquired 2 sets of keys so far. But now that I know that I have them both, I still have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, so these enemies here, these are some of the most difficult enemies in the game because they have a cell and that protects them. So if you open the cell, you might get stabbed, in the eye or something. So, the only way really to deal with them is to get the Dragon Bone Smasher and just keep slashing through that cell until you get them. And if you can't get them, you'll have to open the cell, and then you may take some damage. Just be warned. These guys are. Do you know the Man-Eater? Well, the Man-Eater is frightened of these guys right here. Boom. That's how good of a player I am. Took them both out. Just open the cell. Right, so open the cell, back away. You might get stabbed, won't do that much damage. If you really want to just kill them through the cell, or like on the other side without opening the cell door, don't use the Dragon Bone Smasher because it's not really the best weapon to use. You want to use a rapier or something like that, and yeah, like a long weapon, like some sort of spear, for instance. Dragon Bone Smasher doesn't. The attack isn't as good because it's a slash rather than a thrusting motion. So you want to use a thrusting attack. Okay, so we're gonna head. That was a long explanation for something so simplistic. So we're gonna head back to that door. That gate rather near Excalibur, which is a brilliant sword. It's a shame that we can't use it. And yeah, then we'll. So whenever you have to do anything else in this game, you'll generally just have to go through this door, right? That whole other section we just completed. There's nothing else there. There's no reason to ever go back If you do go back, it's because you're lost, or because you really want to take another look around. You know, maybe there's a barrel that you want to slash, or you saw something really interesting on the wall. But generally, there's no reason to set foot in that area again. Oh, unless you fall in one of the holes. There's a hole on the other side that will... but we'll get there and I'll point it out. And don't worry, you'll never fall in that... unless you purposely do it. But I can't imagine why. Yeah. So just continue opening cells, finding items. And so you see a sarcophagus over there? Not there? Right there? So it's a kind of sarcophagus, but you know, more of the, you know, the torturous kind. And there's all these, like, see the little needles and stuff there. So now generally there will only be dead prisoners inside, or just an item or something like that, or an item and a dead prisoner. Imagine both. There are occasions, I think there's only one occasion actually, in which there's a prisoner with a dagger who's alive. He's not dead, he's alive, so that means he'll jump out and stab you in the face. So you want to be careful with that. I will point him out later on when we get there. So obviously now we're on the 4th floor, right? West. 4th floor west. Not east, west. W is west. We can't open this either. Alright, so there's not much choice but to go down here. It's actually fairly linear when you think about it, because, you know, you just gotta follow the corridors. So this is a prisoner that doesn't kill you. That's a prisoner that does. I should also point out that I'm very much over leveled, so the attacks may do more to you or less, obviously depending on your level. If you're level 80, they'll probably do less damage. If you're level 4, I don't know how you'd be level 4, but if you're level 4, actually I know how you'd be level 4, you just never bothered to talk to the man in black. I wonder if people actually do that. I mean, I don't see why you'd bother. I don't even think you'd do that much. I mean, level 4 in Tower of Latria? It's a bit ridiculous. So, boom, headshot. So yeah, if you're level 4, or whatever, a relatively low level for this area, you know, you will have more damage done to you. But this is fairly obvious. This is something I'm explaining. This isn't even a good tip, because frankly everyone knows it. So just disregard, which should be commonplace at this point. Oh, Lord Fussington is talking again. Just forget it. Just disregard. It's no idea what he's talking about. I don't. I still think Half Moon Grass is the best grass in the game. That's why I'm using it right now. Full Moon Grass? Garbage. Half Moon Grass would be the best grass in the game. Oh, this is a good set of armor, I find anyway. Yeah, but Half Moon Grass... Oh no, there's 2 instances where there's a prisoner with a dagger. You know, Half Moon Grass would be better than Full Moon Grass, wouldn't it? Because it's half. Half is always better than full. That's just logical. So when I say Half Moon Grass is the best grass in the game, I probably mean it. So I'm checking to see which one I like better. I don't know why I'm checking. I know which one I like better. Black boots. Black boots. I've got to match everything. Boom. Fantastic. So another dead prisoner with a great soul. Unknown hero soul. Fantastic. Best soul in the game. Better than the demon souls. So in here... Oh yeah, and watch out for the mind flayer. I don't think I paid attention. So here, there will be an enemy. Or at least I think there is. Yeah. Okay. And then I get shot by that. So that's the paralysis thing. He doesn't actually use his tentacles in that case, which is a bit strange. Normally he would, and I'd probably lose about 1/3 of my health in this case. But you don't have to actually open that sarcophagus, so keep that in mind. You know, I just opened it because, you know, to show you that there is danger there. You know, so I'm taking one for the team, essentially. And I'm a team player, and that's why I did it. It's also why I make these walkthroughs, because I just want to help people. Yeah. So this is the hole. There was a hole in the ground there, and that'll lead you back to that area where I said you never have to go again unless you fall into the hole, and that will lead you back there. So this opens obviously a couple of cells in this area, as well as that gate that we passed earlier on. So now I'm checking to see if I've not opened some of the gates, some of the cells. Fucking hell, gate cells. So here's a cell that I did not open. Just use the dragon bone smasher, it's amazing. Claws. Claws are really good. I don't see why you wouldn't use claws, because they've got all the range in the world. Secret dagger. That's actually a good dagger. Royal Lotus. I don't know why I'm reading it for you. I mean, you can see it. It's there. You know. Okay. So now we're ready. Now there's a mind flare over here. Okay, so be wary of the mind flare. I haven't had any terrible run-ins with the mind flare yet, but you know, I could quickly change. Luckily, I kill it rather quickly. So, oh, he looks like he shot this entire area. Usually, all this stuff is you know, not broken. Just checking the view. A little bit bleak, isn't it? I think it's more bleak than Dark Souls. Okay, so this is a mind flare, another one. So, yep. So that's exactly how you should play. You should miss. What's mish? Miss. Because miss is actually spelled M-I-S-S, not M-I-S-H. Which is a really good tip, and also helps just helping people in English, because obviously I need the help. Right. So the great way to play is to just miss, not mish, most of your shots, and then actually, you know, and risk getting killed by the mind flare. It worked out well. This is, forget her name now, but once royal mistress, right? So she looks, you know, something's happened to her face, or unless it was always like that, but I don't think so. Might have been the demons, or you know, like some sort of demonic presence, or who cares, whatever. Or former royal's wife, is that what it said? Oh yeah. Well, it looks like the Wikipedia is lying to me. Fucking bullshit. Not that I check the wiki. I don't check it because I don't do research during the summer. So she sells. I mean, the shards are pretty. You can buy those shards from her, and that's pretty good. And Old Spice, of course. So she can be well useful.
They pillaged Great Latria since then, telling us
yeah.
Over and over. Thank you. Now I can stay here.
You know, if you don't like her, you can just hit her with your shield. You know, don't hit her with the, because I think if you kill her, you will accumulate Black World tendency, and you don't necessarily want to do that. I think you do anyway. There's no reason to kill her. She's a merchant. Merchants aren't really. Dark Souls, there's a merchant that I did kill actually, because he. But then again, there's not tendency to worry about. But gave me a katana. So yeah. I mean, there's another way to get a katana, but I wanted to kill him because he's an irritant. Okay, so I'm just being careful here. Yep. Shot him in the ovaries. That's right, I said he has ovaries. Get over it. You could just walk in and, you know, kill everything. I'm obviously playing it far too safe. Well, that's why I also, you know, I always have this massive shield. Yeah. Don't want to risk dying. I also have second chance. Well, because I find if I'm recording, I don't want to have to redo things. You know, and because then the editing gets really irritating, and I just can't be bothered. All right, what's over here? Oh, it's a cell. Unbelievable. So open the cell. Okay, so there's all these sarcophagi, and you have to. Now that one, the one on its own. There's a prisoner in there with a dagger, and the prisoner is alive. Okay, he's holding the dagger, and as soon as you open it, he will stab you. Okay, and could potentially poison you unless you're wearing this sort of armor and stuff, where you shouldn't be poisoned. Yeah, generally. So I opened it just so you could see, and you know, that's it really. I'm not sure where I'm going. Right. So that was interesting. And now we take a left and then a right. There's not that many directions to go into. Oh, dead rats. Interesting. And by interesting I mean not very much. Old Spice, which is really good actually. Old Spice is, if you're a mage, you want to accumulate Old Spice. Mind you, it's actually tough to accumulate Old Spice. You have to buy it really. It's the only way to obtain a lot of it. So you need a special key to save Sage Freke. And we don't have it yet because the door was locked. That's how we know we don't have it. Because if we had it, then we'd be able to just open. Anyway, so just open this one here instead. And doesn't seem to be anything in there. So grab these keys. Well, there is something in there. We just can't go there yet. So that's first floor. So that's the warden area. We'll get those keys afterwards. Foggate. So that's where we have to go, right? This is probably the second floor, and we don't have the keys for this area. Or maybe, do we have the keys for this area? No, I don't think. This cell obviously didn't have a lock on it. Boom. See, that does pretty good damage. Level 70, pretty good vitality. Terrible aim, but okay. So what's in here? Man with a dagger and another man who's hanging. Locked. I think here there's Lord Rydell. Not on this one, probably the next one. Nope, it looks like it's the next one. So this area we can't really do anything. There's rubble on the other side as well, which doesn't disappear until we accumulate pure white world tendency. And we can't get the key for this area until we accumulate pure white world tendency. Just keep the second floor in mind for later. So I've been Lord Fussington. The next video is part 2 of Tower of Latria 3-1, which is a brilliant title. Thank you very much for watching. Kindly rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.